When I was in nursing school, my grandmother had a devastating stroke and was left paralyzed on her right side and unable to talk. So stroke has always had a special place in my heart.
Strokes can be really scary. It can be very disabling. You lose the ability to move part of your body or the ability to speak.
My name is George Peabody, and we're here because I had a stroke. My story is of when the system works great.
Strokes are actually very deadly. They are the 5th leading cause of death in the United States. Having a local hospital that can treat stroke patients quickly is essential because in the stroke world we say time is brain. People can lose up to 2 million brain cells every minute during a stroke.
As the EMS medical director, I work very closely with our surrounding towns and the fire chiefs and the EMS coordinators working on stroke care.
I was on the Peloton when it happened. My vision went tunnel-like. I looked over and my right arm was down.
My ignition was on in my car, and I was about to leave for a couple of hours.
Knowing I was in some trouble, I called for Nancy.
And I heard a howl from the basement.
By the time she came down, all I could say was her name, not very clearly.
And I said, "Honey, what's up?" He was completely mute, no response.
I couldn't recall words. She obviously had the wits to call 911.
And an ambulance was there within 4 minutes.
We work incredibly closely with our emergency medical services, the EMTs and paramedics in our region. They have specific protocols for when they call the hospital and activate a stroke alert. And it actually starts our whole stroke team in the hospital in motion before the patient even arrives.
The Acton Fire Department, their EMTs just were phenomenal.
They walked him up through the bulkhead and out into the road. I received a call from an emergency room physician. What the doctor said to me was, "He has no speech." I thought about my singing, speaking, adoring, whispering, shouting husband without language. In that moment, it was an eternity.
Our stroke team is truly multidisciplinary. Nursing, physicians, radiology, lab, care management, rehab team. We'll have the CAT scan table ready, registration will be aware. If I'm here on page, the nursing supervisor. Everybody kind of descends on the patient.
I had been interviewed, of course, by the emergency room physicians.
There are medications that are only effective if given within a brief period of time.
So our partnership with MGH Telestroke allows us to make a phone call and talk to their neurologist within 5 minutes.
Who basically concurred and said, give him the good stuff.
It was every step of the way, every moment, something was being done to restore him to wholeness.
We've been very fortunate at Emerson with the protocols we have in place where we can get patients the treatment they need very quickly. I've had several cases, where we've actually sort of set records with how quickly we've given the certain types of medication that are needed.
But within 15 minutes, I was starting to be able to speak.
And there was George, smiling and a little bit verbal. And I was just, what that did for my heart. I could breathe a sigh of relief. By the next morning, he was almost 100%.
One of the most rewarding things for me as a physician, when we can give the patients the treatment that they need and in the time frame that they need it, these treatments that we have are very effective.
Getting my ability to speak back was huge. And then it really means a lot to me to be able to be outside and to be active.
I just shudder to think of what our lives would be like if not for the team at Emerson.
To be able to impact somebody's life long term and, prevent them from having to live with the disabilities that they came in with is just, it's amazing. It's a great feeling.
I just have enduring gratitude to Emerson.
I've been restored to the quality of life that I wanted, and, it's because of them. So, thank you. They saved my life.
It took a few months for him to pick up the guitar. And when he finally picked up the guitar, all of the music was there.